So just over there is the Sakura Cherry Blossom Park, and it's one of the only places in Cyprus where you can see the cherry blossoms because of its unique climate. Now, I was supposed to go on Saturday for the spring festival, which is peak season for the cherry blossoms. Unfortunately, Cyprus was hit with a sand dust cloud from Africa, and the air quality index was horrendous, and it was advised to stay inside. And as someone who suffers a lot with itchy eyes and hay fever, I thought better not risk it. So I came today on Monday, and it's actually a beautiful day, clear sky. And for today's video, we're going to use the Sigma 16 F1.4 to get some nice wide shots. And I'm also going to compare that in contrast with the Sigma 56 F1.4. Two lenses I love, two lenses I use, but I'm sure we can still find differences today as well. Even there's going to be less people, so we're going to probably enjoy the park to ourselves. So let's head over there. Now, as I'm shooting both photo and video, I'm using the K&F ND2-400 black diffusion to allow me to control my exposure. This will also help soften highlights and reduce contrast, which I think will complement the theme for this video, photographing the cherry blossoms. Starting with the Sigma 16, this allowed me to capture some establishing shots of the village walking up to the park. This is my first time visiting the village of Campos, and with it not being peak tourist season yet in Cyprus, I can't imagine many would actually visit this place. But that's what I'm here for, to show you Cyprus through photography. Walking into the park on this beautiful spring day, I was still in time to capture the cherry blossoms at peak bloom. Now, most of the trees are donated, and this is where you would see like a little plaque displaying the names of those who generously helped. This park still requires some work, but I still think it's fantastic. There's a little duck pond, some benches, and a stream flowing through the park. Walking through the park, I noticed a sign saying Donkey Farm, so naturally I wanted to check that out. I could see the stable at the end, so I made my way through the park to be greeted by a donkey enjoying her day. Now, I assume this is a girl, and I'm pretty confident about it because I can't see anything hanging there. There's actually a reason this place even exists. This park was created back in 2022 to celebrate 60 years of diplomatic relations between Japan and Cyprus with the support of the Japanese embassy. And what's interesting is that these trees only really work here because of the altitude. Campos sits around 700 meters high, which creates a cooler microclimate. That's why you won't find this anywhere else on the island. And the blossoms themselves, they only last a few weeks, around mid-March to early April, and then they're gone. So there's a small window where everything looks like this, which is why everyone goes crazy every year about them. To celebrate the mark of spring, they have a spring veil here, where they hold an event not only to see the cherry blossom trees, but to try an authentic Japanese code called Happy, and to try some cherry tofu. Unfortunately, I never got to experience that, but I don't regret spending the 2-hour drive to get here. This place is located pretty far into the mountains, away from any major city, and you can really feel the peace and tranquility. After spending some time photographing with the Sigma 16, I decided to switch to the 56mm. Although I'm not a big fan of the screen on the Sony a6700, after loading these onto my Mac and editing them in Lightroom, they came out much better. It's particularly difficult to shoot in bright daylight, and the screen doesn't do your captured photos justice. I mean, I love the Sigma 56, it's just such a good portrait lens. As I got carried away photographing the one donkey, I noticed the other one behind the stable. At least they had each other for company. As a fixed prime lens, I wanted a wider shot, so you really have to move much further back. This lens really does give a different look. Now heading back through the park, This gave me a chance to really capture some details with the 56, so you can see how good it can isolate your subject, especially with such a wide aperture of f1.4. I mean, take a look at these images shot at different apertures. f1.4 is just crazy. It completely obliterates the background into one smooth blur. I personally find f2 or f4 slightly more aesthetically pleasing. I mean, both prime lenses offer a shallow depth of field. Again, take a look at these close-ups of the Sigma 16. It's just so smooth and the background is completely obliterated. The thing to note is that the minimum focus distance on the 16mm is 25 centimeters, where about 50 centimeters on the 56mm. I mean, if this place was crowded with people and you wanted some clean shots of the cherry blossoms with no people, then you're far better off with this 56. Now, I noticed the small bridge, so I crossed it and to take a short walk behind, and this had some really nice photo opportunities as the lighting here was incredible with the sun shining through the trees, offering some really nice contrast between the shadows and the highlights. Now, after a while, I was getting a little frustrated being restricted with the narrow focal length, trying to capture the stream across the bridge. So I switched back to the Sigma 16 to get some wider shots. And the great thing is, if you think 16mm is too wide, you can always crop later in post. I really enjoy both these lenses as they are small and light. And hopefully you've seen the differences throughout this video. So let me know down below your thoughts whether you have these or something similar. Also, what do you think of the park? Would you come to visit this place? Now, having got here about midday, I noticed time flew by. I don't know how I managed to spend 4 hours here. Did I spend too much time with the donkeys? I thought before I head back on my 2-hour return drive, I would take a short walk up the village to get some high vantage points of the park and surrounding area. This is a really nice village. I'd be curious to see what it would be like on a weekend when there may be a bit more life and to enjoy some of the local cafe and restaurants. But this is the beauty of Cyprus. I get that most people come here for the sun, the beach, and to relax, but Cyprus has so much more to offer. And sticking to the usual tourist hotspots is so cliche. It's a shame I wasn't able to make it here on Saturday for the event because it would have been a really unique experience. But that is the case with travel photography, you just have to adapt. That being said, if you do ever visit Cyprus and you want to explore the island through photography, I've left links in the description box down below, and I've also included a free photo spots guide to inspire your next trip to Cyprus. Now, if you want to see what the roads are like in the mountains of Cyprus, check out the POV video here. Otherwise, YouTube recommends this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Cyprus soon.